cigarettes, cause he's addicted to you. I'm gonna find my mom's favorite prescriptions, I'm gonna share them all with you. When I get my stuff together, when my shit comes in.
Are you there?
I am here.
I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I mean, I love your site. I love what you guys are doing. So you are exactly the type of folks I would love to talk to in my non-professional hours. So it's a joy to do so on a professional dime.
Very good. So Marc with a C, we've done a number of things with you. We've done a few reviews. We did a featured collector piece on you. Tell us what's new with Marc with a C.
Well, in February, I put out a brand new record called Exactly Where I Am that I sort of released in, I guess, maybe a guerrilla sort of way. There was a build-up to it, but people didn't know what the build-up was for, and I think that those bygone days of putting out an album, releasing a title, but not letting anyone know what it's going to sound like, or not giving them a single to chew on. There was something really fun about that, and not knowing what you were going to get when you dropped the needle on it. So that was what I did in February, and actually in June I will be releasing a vinyl issue of my third record, which is the epitome of the difficult third record. Every group has one, and I am no exception. It's an album called This World is Scary as Fuck. It's the first time it's ever been on vinyl, and it's going to be on brightly colored yellow vinyl. I'm very excited about it, and it has 4 or 5 bonus tracks, depending on how you count. And let's see, beyond that, managing Nerdy FM, an online radio station devoted to nerdy music, and as of tonight, actually talking about bringing back my old podcast that was Buy-In for Record Geeks called The Real Congregation, but more so that we'll do specials focusing on artists that we've tracked down that had seemed to disappear into the ether. So those are the 4 things that I'm kind of working on right this second, but this is a slow week.
Very good. Marc, tell us a little bit, for those who are still kind of new to your catalog, which we are, tell us about the album This World is Scary as Fuck.
Sure. It was made during a difficult period for me. My first record, Human Slushy, was not my favorite record I had made. The producer and I didn't necessarily... I thought we were at the same time, but we weren't on the same page. The second record, Bubblegum Romance, which is really the first record to a lot of people. It's the first place many people discovered the songs that I make up. Was a decidedly more lo-fi, recorded in a living room kind of affair, but I didn't really know how to work the buttons and things. And This World is Scary as Fuck came in a transitional period where not only was I recording myself really for the first time for the general public, but I also had killed Marc with a C. I was done with it. I had retired the name. I had actually done a final concert, as it were, charged admission at the door. It was totally real, but it was ultimately that I wasn't feeling very good about other people having say-so over what I did as Marc with a C, rather than me having the final word. So I had intended to... Now, keep in mind, this is 2005, so this is a much stranger idea than it will sound like in 2015. Mm-hmm. My idea was to sort of give myself 90 minutes a day, every day, where I had to produce something. And I picked 10 of these things, put them out on a mysterious website that would be called Bunny Thumbs. You would get a mysterious album there. It would have no links back to Marc with a C, no way to find out who it was. But then, afterwards, each day, some kind of tonal experiment would appear on the site. This is long before SoundCloud. This is long before Bandcamp. It was a way weirder idea back then than you'd think. So I recorded all this stuff for Bunny Thumbs, and then I got invited to a show that I simply couldn't turn down as Marc with a C, and I was back in the Marc with a C groove. That finality was for naught, because the problem that I was having with a person was going away. They were moving across the country. The problem wasn't going to be there, so I felt okay continuing as Marc with a C. But unfortunately, now I had a year's worth of material that sounded nothing like me. So I had to make the most Marc with a C-esque record out of a year's worth of experiments.
Today you fell out of it. Today I missed you a bit. Well, that's not true. I missed you a lot. You're at work and I'm at home. We rely on the telephone, and I can't wait till you come home to me. Last weekend wasn't that much fun. Now the arguing is done. Sometimes couples have to clear the air. The best friend that I've ever had is you, kid, and I'm so glad that you can.
And that's what you get on This World is Scary as Fuck. Literally me trying to figure out how 4 tracks work.
Very good. So the album turns 10 years old this July. Is that right?
Yes. The first pressing was just a silly little CDR, and I wasn't too cool with how disposable it had come out. So a few months later, we reissued it with a bonus track that was actually not necessarily a bonus. It had just not been burnt to the initial batch of CDRs for some reason. So that made it kind of a selling point. So it came out in July and then was reissued in September of that year on a slightly better silver disc format. But my records back then were never intended for CD to be the final word. I've always thought in terms of vinyl. I've always mixed in terms of vinyl. I've always had those frequencies in mind. So this was just a matter of my budget catching up to me being able to put the catalog out in its proper way. So that's how we're celebrating each anniversary. And I get to celebrate a lot of them because I made a lot of records.
Sound drops out.